Okay, I gave y'all, the weekend. It's Monday for Monday Night Raw. I let everybody hurry up and make their videos. You got some of these YouTubers that gotta be the first to try to post something to get some clicks. Nah, I don't do that. I let everybody get their opinions out on John Cena's last match and Saturday Night Main Event. So I'm not going to do a review. This is just what I think. And I might have, a couple of more down the pipeline about this. We know Raw going to be trash today. That just, SmackDown before Saturday Night Main Event was horrendous. I might make a video on that. It was horrendous. But Saturday Night Main Event overall, I'm going to just give it a grade. It was like 2 out of 5 stars. And this Saturday Night Main Event should have been a 10 out of 10. Because I think this was the most watched pay-per-view WWE probably had. And it was on Peacock. You didn't need Netflix for this. I mean, not Netflix, ESPN. You didn't need that. So a lot of people already had Peacock. And this was John Cena's final match, so everybody had eyes on it. And all I could say is this felt horrible. Like when we look back at John Cena's heel turn and his retirement tour, Triple H ruined it and made this horrible. Now, the matches just really didn't make sense. Bayley and Sol Ruka match was great. You got Bayley, who's one of the top women veterans and everything. She don't be botching. And you got Sol Ruka, up and comer. She don't really be botching. And they had a good match. And Bayley, she took the pin, which I think that this was the point of Saturday Night Main Event, to put over the new talent. And this was a great win for Sol Ruka. Next, the AJ Styles and Javon Evans and all that. They did some really good stuff. I think AJ Styles got a little too excited and, he missed his spot. But overall, that match was good. Now, Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi. Honestly, Obafemi probably could have won. I'm not even gonna lie. Obafemi almost should have won. But Drew McIntyre had to come out there and mess it up and then get bodied by Cody and Obafemi. I knew this was gonna happen. It was so predictable. It was a damn shame that Drew McIntyre did this. I would have preferred the Masked Man. I would have preferred letting Obafemi win if it would have been from a distraction or somebody hitting Cody with something. But it's just a damn shame how they do Drew McIntyre and how they book these shows. But then the John Cena versus Gunther match was actually okay. The problem is Gunther, they're trying to make up Gunther to be this Kane, type, big bad guy heel. And, Gunther lost to Jey Uso. Well, Gunther tapped out to Jey Uso and didn't even put up a struggle. He just instantly tapped. And that was the worst decision Triple H ever made. We don't care if Jey Uso used the move. If Jey Uso would have did his finishing move a couple of times, hit some splashes and won, we would have been fine. But you made Gunther tap. And I'm seeing all these people are mega mad saying the fans ruined John Cena's night. No. Triple H ruined John Cena's legacy because John Cena's whole legacy is never give up. You know, he did the most Make-A-Wishes and he taps out. And all this is saying is, if John Cena could give up, then all of those Make-A-Wish kids, you're basically saying it's okay for y'all to give up too. Don't fight back. Just give up. You know, now, if John Cena would have never tapped on his own and maybe just let his hand fall down, that would have been better than John Cena actually giving up. John Cena tapping is him actually giving up. That's why we would have preferred John Cena to just pass out. But John Cena should have won this match. It did nothing for Gunther. Like, Gunther really can't come back. I mean, you let Jimmy Uso slap you. Now, you destroyed him on Monday, but I mean, everyone's saying John Cena wanted this. John Cena didn't want this. You could kind of tell by the way John Cena tapped out. Like, he didn't want this. John Cena tapped out not even fighting back. Like, it wasn't even an acting tapping out. He was just like, whatever. John Cena is such a company man. He does whatever WWE says. Goldberg would have never tapped out. Like, a lot of people wouldn't have tapped out. Stone Cold wouldn't have tapped. Rock wouldn't have tapped. Taker wouldn't have tapped. Well, Taker would have tapped. I'm not even gonna lie. Taker is a company man, maybe worse than John Cena. You know, I mean, John Cena, I think, was just done with this. This whole not heel to retirement tour was dumb. You know, I think he got his match in with Dominic. I think he wanted that just because of Eddie Guerrero and stuff. But man, like, you have some company ass fans too that will literally never ever say WWE did anything bad. They're gonna glaze Triple H, glaze WWE. I mean, they suck. They really suck. But more importantly, John Cena legacy. I think John Cena has a great legacy. It's just the fact that, man, this retirement tour was horrendous, man. Horrendous retirement tour. The worst retirement tour ever. And who else can really they give a retirement tour to? No one. AJ Styles won't get a retirement tour. Brock Lesnar won't get a retirement tour. You could sell all his merchandise. You know, they scammed all of WWE Universe and gave you this BS. John Cena didn't even do a speech. The only time John Cena smiled was when Vince McMahon came on the screen. Now that is sad. Like, Triple H deserves every boo. And I'm telling you, I already said this in multiple videos, that Triple H is trying to destroy the WWE. And New Wrestling World Order proved it. You know, go watch his Stephanie McMahon part 1 through 4 videos. You know, it's basically their revenge for Vince not passing the company down to them. You know, Triple H is trying to destroy this from the ground up. And, you know, he really wanted to be in that number one spot. But hell, even The Rock is above Triple H. And they don't like that. They don't like that. I can't wait for the time when TKO says, hey, Triple H, you're doing a horrible job. And Paul Heyman raises his hand and says, hey, let me be over content. Paul Heyman is the only person right now that can turn WWE back into what we want to see. You know, he's playing this little heel gimmick manager, but Paul Heyman is almost the reason why WCW was what it was and WWF was what it was. Because Paul Heyman is the reason why you got your Eddies, your Chris Benoits, your Rey Mysterios, the whole luchador scene in WCW came from ECW. Austin and all of those guys, Cactus Jack, all of them came from ECW. Brock Lesnar, he didn't come from ECW. That's the Paul Heyman guy. Like, all of these people, and what made it great, Paul Heyman was the best booker at the time. He booked all those people. Your Sabus, RVDs, like, come on, man. But back to John Cena and these fans. Like, the fans are right. The fans, a lot of fans are Cody crybabies, but it's the Cody crybabies that hate to be, you know, wrong. Like, their opinions, man. Like, y'all saying the crowd ruined John Cena's last match. Please stop. The fans, the crazy part, when John Cena tapped out, the fans weren't even booing Gunther. The fans probably expected John Cena to lose some kind of way, but the fans weren't even booing Gunther. They were either shocked or pissed at Triple H. That's all it was. That's all it was. Like, Gunther wasn't even really getting boos. Gunther had, the crazy part, Gunther isn't even really getting heat for this. Like, that is just the crazy part. They're like, Gunther got some good heel heat. Gunther really, bro, no one cares about Gunther. Like, I'm sorry. No one cares. Gunther did not need, it's not that Gunther didn't need the win. It's just John Cena shouldn't have been able to tap out. John Cena should have not tapped out. I'm sorry, but that's just the case. John Cena should not have tapped out, and Triple H is dead wrong. This guy is the 17-time WWE champion. He hasn't tapped out for 20 years. All of a sudden, he does all these crazy moves to Gunther, but Gunther is like Super Saiyan 4 level strong. Stop. Like, stop it. You know, I'm going to make more videos on this, but put down in the comments, you know, rate Saturday Night Main Event for me. That's all I want to know. You know, rate it out of 10. You know, 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 5 out of 10. You know, what are y'all thoughts on Saturday Night Main Event? And like, comment, and subscribe.